All right, enough delays. Thank you all for waiting around. Those who are joining. First off, I really want to thank everybody for coming to my very first YouTube clinic, if you want to call it, instructional class. Just really a good time for us to sort of get together and have some fun, hopefully learn something new. So what I'm doing with these classes is I'm going to walk you all through the processes that I've been following in SCA contests, KCBS contests, on sort of that side dish or that ancillary side. Spent a lot of time this past year doing those. They're a ton of fun. So I wanted to pass these on to you all, let you share them, let you make them yours. And most importantly, what I hope that you do is I hope that you use them to go out and make really great memories. That's really the whole purpose of why I'm doing this, to let you go out and share those experiences. So let's just dive into it. What I'm going to start with is the base recipe. This is a recipe that I've used several times this past year. It's really simple. It's 5 ingredients. So the 5 ingredients that you saw on the thumbnail are it. It's really just, move that guy. So it's Zing Zang, Bloody Mary mix, which I used all of. It's vodka. So I have Tito's today. Like whatever your favorite vodka is, make sure and use that. I got Tabasco sauce. I got pickle juice. And then sort of a secret or less known ingredient is the Kosmos Q Brisket Mop. So this is going to cover a lot of our bases for us. This is really heavy in celery seed, Worcestershire sauce, like a lot of those real savory notes that you might want for your Bloody Marys is all in here. So instead of me going out and getting, 5 different ingredients, I chose to just use this. It's excellent, and that's what I am going to recommend that you use. Hey, Bill, what's going on, man? Bill, Chicken Fried Barbecue's on. Appreciate you coming on, Bill. All right, so first ingredient. 4 cups of Zing Zang or your favorite Bloody Mary mix. So again, I'm more of just showing what I do. Whatever you all want to do is up to you. And of course I made a mess. I got 1.5 cups of vodka. So again, this is Tito's, but whatever you like. I'm just going to do a couple of dashes of the Tabasco sauce. Just about 4. The brisket mop is a concentrate, so it has a lot of flavor in it already. So like that with the Zing Zang, I don't need a ton of extra spices. I got 4 tablespoons of pickle juice. And I got a 1/4 cup of the Kosmos Q Brisket Mop. And I want to make sure that I get all that. I'm going to get that. And I'm just going to stir it around. And that's really the main gist of the actual recipe itself. So here's the thing. You can make this however you want to. You can add stuff to it. You can take stuff away from it. It's really just a base for you all to start off of if you don't already have a recipe that you use. I know that this one's performed very well, both here at the house, like and in competition. It's a great recipe. It's pretty easy. So I really like doing it. One tip, if you are going to do it at a contest, like an SCA contest or a KCBS contest, I recommend that you actually make it right when you get there. So I always try to make things for the contest, actually like at the contest. I just think it makes it a little bit fairer. I recommend making this thing right when you get there and then put it in some type of container, like this guy, and then put it on ice. So I want it to be as cold as I can possibly get it before it's time for turn in, because I don't want it to melt the ice down and get all watery and stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. That's just a tip that I would do. Makes it easier. It also makes it so that you know how much you have for the contest and how much you and your buddies can drink. So, because that's typically what happens is we'll go and make a picture of these and like end up drinking it, and then when it's time to turn in, we're scrambling to find out what we can use to turn in. So this will help to sort of, keep you and your buddies out of it. All right, so we got that. So now is sort of where some of the more secret sauce stuff comes into play. So at a SCA contest, what you do is like you get 2 cups. So two like 16-ounce pint, like solo cups or like whatever this brand is. And this is what you'll get. One of them is for decorating, and then one of them is straight for tasting. So you won't do any garnish on this one over here. You'll just do ice and then the Bloody Mary. But this one is really where you got to stand out. So this is where you can really like let your creativity go wild. I have found that you do want to try to keep it sort of reined in a little bit. So don't go making it, 8 feet tall so that the judges can't handle it or whatever. I tried doing that with a very, like a very large, it was called a nacho Bloody Mary. It was 2 huge tortillas on the cup. It was probably this big around, and the judges just didn't really go for it. So this one's based off of one that I did differently that scored a little bit better. And here's really one of my tips. So this is the old apple trick. And like, I don't know who else does this, if anyone else does it. But here's what it is. So if you don't have something in your cup, what'll happen is whenever you start putting your skewers in there, or your celery, or like whatever you're doing, you can't really control like where they're going, right? So they sort of fall in here. How I combat that is I actually take an apple and I will look at the apple compared to the size of the cup, right? So like that. And then I'll actually cut all this excess stuff around the edge. So this apple fits perfectly in the bottom of this cup. And I'll show you what that's going to let me do. So if we have one of these cups with no apple, right? It could be there. This cup actually already have an apple cut. So this is sort of how it looks. So it's not big aggressive cuts, but just enough to sort of shape it so that it fits really well in the bottom of this cup. Just like that. So now what I can do with these is instead of me having, you know, these flimsy guys over here falling over and getting knocked over, I can actually pick exactly where I want these to go, and they are going to stay perfectly. So I think this is a cool trick. I don't know who else does it. I don't know if anyone else does. But this is one of the things that I definitely do to help to make my cups stand out. So what we'll do now is we'll move this guy. I actually have some garnishes made. So I have this really nice shrimp skewer. So this is just a grilled or a sauteed shrimp on a skewer with cherry tomatoes like in between. So pretty simple, nothing real crazy. But one thing that I have found is that judges, you know, love seafood. So I try to incorporate seafood whenever I can. I got another one to go over here. So it doesn't do that. So now I have a pretty good base set up. I need to maneuver these a little bit, but that's okay. I got lots of other stuff to go in here, so we'll be good. I got one of these little floury guys that I'm going to put in here. So this is a piece of celery with a sweet pepper, a sweet orange pepper, half force mixture color, and then a cherry tomato put through the middle. So just some good height and a good contrast of colors. What I got then, so I have lots of reds and greens and yellows, or reds and yellows going on. So now I like to have some green. So I got these like green onions, and if you'll cut the ends of them and put them in ice water, then they'll curl like this. And then what I've done is I've put a toothpick in the bottom so it sticks. And then I'll start to place these around wherever I think they fit or wherever I think I need something. So like that. I'll actually cut a new one. Put that in there, just like that. And then it'll just sort of skewer in there wherever I want to. And because of the apple, it doesn't move around. Actually, I'm just gonna do 3. And then I don't think that a Bloody Mary is a Bloody Mary without an olive. So I made this little olive in this pickle guy. So I'm gonna put it sort of right here up in front. Because I don't know how they'll present this to the judges. So I want to make sure that it's sort of covered, you know, all the way around with something. Just like that. All right. So now this cup is basically done. What I do now is I take just a little bit of ice, and I don't need a ton. Like I really just want it to be in there, just to sort of hold stuff to hold things still. Just like that. And just like that. So again, this is just a display cup. They aren't actually going to be drinking this one. And then one more tip. I always take a filter with me. Just because I don't know if I can get my pitcher maneuvered or whatever. So I will just put this sort of in here. I'll take my pitcher And I'll start to fill. Again, making sure that I have plenty for my tasting glass. So just like that. So this would be my presentation for Bloody Mary. So it's pretty simple. But there's a couple of things in there that I don't know if very many people do. I know that doing this has scored very, very well for me. That's just a good way of doing it, in my opinion. So now we got to finish up. We got to get our tasting glass. Get some water in it. Get this cleaned up a little bit. And then we just fill that guy up right there. And this is exactly what I would take to the judges. Yeah, so Smoking Joe, it's a great question. So this is for SCA. You could definitely drink it. I would just use a straw if I was just here to drink it. But what the judges will do is that they'll actually drink out of this one right here that's not garnished. That lets them sort of get in there and not have to worry about, all this other stuff. This is really just pretty. And just to sort of show it off a little bit. But yeah, it would definitely be hard. It would definitely be difficult to drink out of. But I bet you that we could figure it out. I'll just use a big straw, maybe a couple of big straws. All right. Well, this video was really for like Tony Sward, a good friend of mine, asked if I could do this tonight. It was a little bit early. This is actually my very first like YouTube video. My kitchen's a mess. So, but hopefully, like, you guys will take something out of it. I think that that's really the only tricks that I got to show right now. But like I said, I really appreciate you guys like hopping on here. Make sure to leave me a comment if there's anything else that like you want me to try to cook, or if you have any other opinions on what goes in a Bloody Mary or whatever. So I want to thank you all. Thanks Bill and Joe for being in there, like being in the chat. I appreciate you guys. You guys make sure and drop me a comment. Like the page, because I'll be getting, this process will get better and better and better. This was a little bit rushed, but I did want to get it for Tony since he asked me for it, and it was something that I felt like I could do pretty quickly. So hopefully, like, Tony will do well this weekend with it, and we'll just sort of see how it goes from there. So for now, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I appreciate you all. Make sure and like share this out. Feel free to share the recipe. Go out and make some good memories with it. That's really all that I ask. So the recipes are sort of a like secondary to me. I would rather like you all take them, twist them up or make them your own, and just go have fun with them. So until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Peace out. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.